Big breaking news today here in the state of Texas. Supreme Court allows the state to enforce SB 4, which allows Texas authority to arrest and deport those who come into the country illegally. Let's check out some video.
The breaking news on immigration. The Supreme Court is now allowing Texas to enforce its controversial immigration law. And we're on top of that with team coverage. Kelly Myers at the White House Force, Allie Bradley on the border in a moment. Analysis from the former ICE director, John Sandweg, as well. Let's start with Kelly. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I was just refreshing our email here as we just reached out to the White House for a statement. But essentially, this law allows local officials to arrest and deport migrants, making it a crime for migrants to enter Texas without authorization. And you may hear it be referred to as SB 4. Now, the Biden administration sued to block the law, saying it interfered with the federal government's power to set immigration policy. This as the White House is pushing Congress to pass a bipartisan border deal. Now, the Supreme Court, at least for now, won't block Texas, but the court's 3 liberal justices dissented. Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote this, quote, "Today the court invites further chaos and crisis in immigration enforcement." Now, we are still waiting for reaction here from the White House. We did reach out to officials here, and we'll bring that to you as soon as we get it, Connell.
All right, quite a surprise this afternoon coming in the last few minutes. Kelly, thank you. Kelly Meyer following that on the North Lawn at the White House. All right, let's talk about reaction on the border today, because this obviously is a story that's going to be digested there. It's a win for the Texas Governor Greg Abbott. That much is certain. News Nation's border correspondent Allie Bradley joining us now with more on all of this. So what are you picking up, Allie? As I say, this came as a surprise to many people given how we followed this story yesterday.
I actually had to scrap my previous video I did today because this just came down not too long ago with an update with excellent news. So yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right there, Connell. We thought this was going to be paused for quite a bit. We did not expect to see this here today, where, of course, local law enforcement will be able to arrest migrants who cross illegally between the ports. This does include Florida Fish and Wildlife, who are down there right now assisting under Operation Lone Star. So here's what Attorney General Ken Paxton said about this kind of victory for Texas, if you will, saying, quote, "Huge win. Texas has defeated the Biden administration's and ACLU's emergency motions at the Supreme Court. Our immigration law, SB 4, is now in effect. As always, it's my honor to defend Texas and its sovereignty and to lead us to victory in court." Now, I have been in contact with Representative David Spiller since this bill passed. He's a co-sponsor of this controversial bill. I just reached out to him. He connected with me saying this, quote, "As a sponsor of SB 4, I couldn't be more pleased and proud of the ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court today. As I have said all along, I believe SB 4 is completely constitutional. The fight is not over, but I look forward to the opportunity for Texans to protect Texas, especially when the Biden administration refuses to do so. I want to thank Governor Abbott, Attorney General Paxton, and his staff, and all of the team that has worked hard to defend the attacks on this bill." Now, it's worth mentioning here, Connell, that I've talked with a lot of sheriffs down there. I've talked with a lot of law enforcement. Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland, we spent several days with him last week. Now, he told me that under SB 4, they don't have all the resources in order to enforce that law right now. They're seeing an uptick in human smuggling. They're seeing a lot of people come over illegally, and right now they're working 5 different groups. And he says that they need a little bit of help from the state. They are getting help from Operation Lone Star, but it's not going to be enough to enforce SB 4 as it stands, Connell.
Oh, that's an interesting angle on it, Allie. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to News.
That's excellent news. So for now, SB 4 can be enforced. Exactly what is the new law taking effect? It says, this is from Texas Tribune. The new law would make it a state crime to cross the Texas-Mexico border between ports of entry if a police officer has probable cause to believe a person illegally crossed the Rio Grande. That person could be charged with a Class B misdemeanor, which carries a punishment of up to 6 months in jail. For subsequent offenses, the person could be charged with a second-degree felony and face up to 20 years in prison. If the migrant is convicted and has served their sentence, a judge would be required to order the police to transport them to a port of entry. A judge could drop the charges if the migrant agrees to return to Mexico, and police could turn over migrant families to Border Patrol agents to avoid separating children from their parents instead of arresting them. So that's SB4 in a nutshell. And this is thankfully going into effect for now. This was totally unexpected. I like I said, I made a video earlier talking about the decision yesterday to extend the pause, and this is surprising news right here in a 6-3 decision that this can go into effect. I didn't think it was going to happen this fast, but I'll take the win. This is a big win. This is why it's a big win. Illegal alien tied to Islamic terrorist group attempts to cross the border. This person was apprehended here in Texas. Let's check it out. An illegal alien who was caught attempting to cross the U.S.-Mexico border admitted to officials that he was a part of an Islamic terrorist group. 22-year-old Lebanese national Bassel Ebadi attempted to enter the United States near El Paso, where he told the U.S. Border Patrol agents that he was part of the Islamic terrorist group Hezbollah. Scary stuff, see? According to Border Patrol documents obtained by the New York Post, while he was in custody, agents asked him what he was doing in the country. He informed agents that he was going to try to make a bomb. Yeah. And there are liberals out there that think the border should be wide open. He was immediately placed in isolation and moved to the El Paso sector hardened facility, where he would be interviewed by the Tactical Terrorism Response Team for making terroristic threats to personnel. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement documents show that during the interview, he claimed he was trying to flee Lebanon and end Hezbollah because he didn't want to kill people. It says, upon entering the country, he said he hoped to go to New York and then move around the country. So he wanted to move around the country. We don't know where he was going to end up, but this guy was no good. He was a part of Hezbollah, and he got here because of an unsecure border. This is why it's so important. One of the reasons why. But I want to tell you what Texas is doing besides SB4. We're building a wall. Check it out. Some footage here from Governor Greg Abbott's Twitter page. There are videos like this constantly being put up by Abbott, Texas military, or who else? Mike Banks, who's the border czar. They're always showing videos of the progress of the border wall being built here in Texas. Another law that was passed was to give over $1 billion in funding to build a wall. There are 5 contracts right now in the amount of $1.28 billion awarded by the Texas Facilities Commission. Official John Raff said in September that about 12 miles of wall had been built at an approximate rate of $25 to $30 million per mile. Now, I've seen since then that it's up to about 16, maybe a little bit more now. But this is where the wall is being built here in Texas. You can see the yellow right there on the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, there are 6 different counties right here where this wall is being built. Now, this is great news. Texas is the only state in the U.S. building its own border wall, spending billions of dollars as a part of Operation Lone Star, which began in 2021. Now, in Operation Lone Star, we've apprehended 500,000 illegal aliens. We've sent over 100,000 illegals to sanctuary cities. We've made thousands and thousands of arrests and criminal convictions here in Texas. It's been it's not perfect, but it's been better than it's definitely done its job as far as filling in the gaps where Biden has not stepped in. But there's another law, another Senate Bill 4, which was passed. It took effect February 6th. It says people convicted of smuggling immigrants into Texas will face a mandatory minimum prison sentence of 10 years after a new state law went into effect February 6. Texas lawmakers approved Senate Bill 4 in October during their third special legislative session. SB 4 raises the minimum sentence from 2 years to 10 years for smuggling humans. As he signed the bill, Governor Abbott signed in December, said human smuggling has accelerated in Texas. In 2017, there were 370 arrests for smuggling illegal immigrants into Texas. Now in 2023, at the time of this writing, that number has skyrocketed to 7,700 arrests. The new law also creates a 5-year minimum sentence for harboring undocumented immigrants in stash houses. Proponents of the bill have said it will crack down on drug cartels and other criminals, while some immigrant rights advocates argue it will contribute to racial profiling without deterring criminals. Yeah. People are always going to complain about these types of things, but we're putting tons of razor wire up. I'm actually putting up barriers. Right here you can see a Texas and Florida National Guard continue to expand anti-crime barrier to block illegal border crossings. The governor, Ron DeSantis, has sent resources here to the state to help Texas National Guard secure the border and build these barriers. As you can see here, more razor wire being put up along the southern border. This is, but we still have the buoys there in place. So here's a video that they posted right here from Operation Lone Star. Show you some of the things that they're doing. Let's check it out. There you go. I like to watch their Twitter account, X, whatever you want to call it, because they have a lot of posts of of state troopers and National Guard doing their thing at the southern border, protecting the state of Texas and protecting the United States. This is by far the biggest law signed and passed to take effect for any state that I know of, doing the job of the federal government, because they have not stepped up. We have over 8 million illegal aliens who crossed the border since Biden has been installed in office. And this right here, while I wish it would have been passed sooner, it did get done. And this is a huge win for the state of Texas. I'm very happy. And we still have to go to the lower courts, the Fifth Circuit. But for right now, Texas can enforce SB 4. And I'm very thankful for that. And we're seeing a shift from Texas to Arizona and California. Texas has seen a drop in people crossing the border, attempting to cross, and they're going to Arizona and California because, there could be other factors in that, but for the most part, it's because Texas has really clamped down on illegal immigration because Joe Biden is not doing his job. Yes, but I'm going to leave the video right there. I'm very happy to share this with you. This is great news. Unexpected ruling from the Supreme Court, 6-3, and we should take the win and be happy about this. We'll see what Biden has to say in the coming days or whatever, but he's going to keep fighting back to keep that border unsecure, to allow more congressional seats in states, more electoral votes, as they want to count illegal aliens in the population. That's the whole point of this game right here, and to allow people to vote. That's so they can keep power. That's the gist of it right there. But all right, guys, like and subscribe if you're listening to this or watching this on Spotify. I appreciate you. If it's on YouTube, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button and give me a follow for more updates. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.